All right, so now we'll get into the second part, which is more related to outbound phone calls. What we just the first video was mainly about stuff in calls coming into you. So before you can, they're pretty strict here on enabling outbound calls. So I mean, there's a little bit of verification in here. So here you start once you come into the agent, you're going to see this link over here, and what's going to happen is you're going to have to agree to the terms, and then there's a process here that they use called, what's the name of here? And you're going to have to take a photo basically of your ID and upload it into here. And then after it's uploaded, it's going to want to verify it. Once it verifies your name, and then it's going to go a step where it wants to verify that you have the verbiage on your lead form. You know, like how we got to go through that process of your terms. Like I agree to, give my approval to send text messages and all that. They have an updated version of that for if you come in here. So with the snapshot I gave you, if you go to sites, forms, you're going to see from that we loaded in for you with the snapshot template here, voice bot form T and C. So you can, this is going to need to be, this terms and conditions is going to need to be on any form that you're going to, that it'll allow to make outgoing phone calls for. You can't just send phone calls to random people in there and say, send it to these leads. They have to come in here through this form. You can, so you may have a form for, Morpheus, maybe you have a form for different treatments in there. But, and then here you just have to change where it says your company. So if you click on it, you can come over here, put your company name, and then change that link to your website, to your privacy policy. So this has to be on here. This is to get approved. And so when it goes through, after you do the driver's license part, it's going to verify your forms, and it's going to find it. It's going to read every form you have in here. It's going to say which ones are. It's going to read it and see that and approve that. So then this will be an approved form to use. So that's one step that has to be done in here. So usually you want to do this part first before doing the driver's license part. So you want to just kind of wanted to show you that part there, and then after that's done. Then there's this is going to show up in here. We also loaded this in for you, the outbound voice AI. This is going to be in your automation and your workflows. So look for outbound voice AI. So then you would need to open that. And this is how you trigger it to send calls. So now, as long as any lead comes in through one of those those web forms, keep in mind, Facebook lead forms don't really count because they don't go through this. What I've been doing is we've been making like a voucher. Like, so if somebody comes in through a lead, say, hey, $500 off Morpheus, and then they get the text message says, thank you for your interest. Then we can now click on this link to go claim your voucher for $500. And then, so it's a page, it's a link to a landing page. Then they put their name in there. Then that qualifies it to be sent the messages. So you would come in here, trigger form is, so like this would be voice bot form. I mean, you would rename it to it. So then that would be the bot, the form you want. Obviously, you're going to have to publish it. Add tag. I put voucher. That's what we put. You can name it, tag it, whatever you want. And then, they claim the voucher. Wait 5 minutes. So I put so it's not so immediate. You could adjust that time to whatever you want. You want to put 10 minutes, however you want that. And then this is where you attach the workflow, the outgoing call. This says disabled because we haven't been approved yet, but then it's going to be a little drop down that you see that select your agent name and then the phone number to use on that. So that'll be right there, but it's disabled for right now because this hasn't been approved. So you'll see a little drop down there. You just select, Morpheus 8 bot and then the phone number bot and then save. And then that'll be set to there once you've done that process. And then, you may want to send in a call again, wait 1 day, send another call, wait 2 days, send a call. So that's where you trigger the outgoing calls to get activated. So you can do that. And then you can always clone this for another one. Now, after you've done that, you're going to come back to the agent and you're going to see here, this wasn't there before the first time, this little outbound call section here. So that's really the only thing that changes. Once you add that, is you've got to change the name here. So now it's going to say contact name. You can do concise, standard, or conversational. I kind of go with standard. So this part has to be. That's why this will change because if you change, that's why I mentioned earlier in the first video that you have to change your company name and so that this and the voice, the name of the person shows up there right. So that'll change, and then you can add in this part says just say I'm following up on our Morpheus 8 promo, would you like to book an appointment? You can just type it all out here, and then this it'll say down here, and this is the greeting. You'll see it here. The AI assistant with cosmetic injections. That's also too why we have to change. Make sure you put your business name in right there. If you prefer not to see your calls, and then it kicks in the same as the rest of the stuff. So that knowledge base, everything's still attached to it. So it's the same knowledge base, the same question, the same calendar, all that part's still the same. So you don't have to go messing with setting up the calendars. You don't have to make a new knowledge base. And you just got to get this first, add in that one line sentence, would you like to book an appointment from that? If it gets an answer machine, it'll leave a message. And all of this will show in the dashboards as well. Now you can just go to the outbound call section and you can see and listen to the messages as well. So that should cover you there on the outbound part, right? Thanks.